The old golden retriever sat outside the fence again. Cold, hungry, shivering. Every night the same thing. And every night, one family quietly left food and water near the sidewalk. They didn't want attention. They didn't film it for social media. They just couldn't ignore suffering. But in this neighborhood, kindness had rules. And the HOA president, she hated those dogs. What she did next shocked the entire community. But what the neighborhood did to her afterward destroyed her reputation forever. Because sometimes, the people with the most power forget one thing. Communities talk. The Ramirez family had lived in Maple Grove Estates for almost 9 years. It wasn't a rich neighborhood, but it was peaceful. Miguel Ramirez worked double shifts as a mechanic. His wife Elena cleaned offices at night. And their 12-year-old daughter Sophia. She loved animals more than anything, especially stray dogs. Every morning before school, Sophia carried leftover chicken and rice to the corner near the drainage ditch behind the neighborhood fence. That's where the strays waited. A skinny black lab, a nervous brown mutt, an old golden retriever missing part of one ear. Sophia gave them names. Buddy, Rusty, Old Man. The dogs trusted her. And honestly, most neighbors liked seeing them around. The dogs never attacked anyone, never barked aggressively. They mostly slept near the wooded area behind the subdivision. But not everyone was happy, because Maple Grove Estates had a new HOA president, Vanessa Crow. And Vanessa loved control. Vanessa Crow moved into the neighborhood only 8 months earlier. But somehow, she became HOA president almost immediately. She enforced everything. Trash cans left out too long. Fine. Grass slightly uneven. Fine. Kids drawing chalk art. Violation notice. People started avoiding her. Not because she was strict, but because she enjoyed humiliating people, especially families she considered low class. And she absolutely hated the stray dogs. One afternoon, Vanessa spotted Sophia feeding Buddy near the sidewalk. She rolled down her car window. "You are attracting disease into this community." Sophia froze. "They're just hungry. And that is not your responsibility." She drove away. But the next morning, a printed warning appeared on the Ramirez family door. Unauthorized feeding of stray animals violates HOA sanitation policy. Elena sighed. Miguel looked exhausted. They thought it would end there. It didn't, because Vanessa wasn't finished. Over the next few weeks, the harassment escalated. Every time Sophia left food outside, a new violation appeared. $50 fine. Then $100. Then $250. Neighbors started whispering. Not against the Ramirez family. Against Vanessa. Because people noticed something strange. The HOA ignored broken streetlights. Ignored illegal parking. Ignored water leaks. But somehow, they had time to monitor a little girl feeding hungry dogs. Then came the worst moment. One cold evening, Sophia arrived at the feeding spot and found the bowls smashed, water spilled everywhere, and spray painted across the wall nearby were the words, "Stop feeding filth." Sophia cried all the way home. Elena held her tightly. Miguel's face turned red with anger. But he stayed calm, because fighting the HOA usually made things worse. Then 3 days later, the Ramirez family received a final notice. Total fines due, $2,700. Failure to pay could result in legal action against their home. Overfeeding stray dogs. That's when the neighborhood changed. People who stayed silent before started paying attention. Mrs. Carter from 2 streets over posted about the fines in the community Facebook group. At first, only a few neighbors commented. Then dozens. Then hundreds. Because Vanessa made one huge mistake. She attached photos. Photos of Sophia feeding the dogs. A child. In the rain. Holding food bowls. The images spread fast. But instead of making Sophia look bad, they made Vanessa look heartless. Comments exploded. Are you seriously fining a child for feeding animals? This is disgusting. Those dogs are harmless. What kind of person does this? Vanessa tried deleting posts. People reposted them. Again. And again. And again. And then someone uncovered something interesting. Very interesting. A neighbor named Derek worked for the county records office. And after seeing Vanessa's behavior, he got curious. Very curious. Because Vanessa constantly claimed the HOA had strict animal safety policies. But Derek discovered something shocking. The policy she quoted didn't exist. She made it up. There was no official rule banning residents from feeding strays outside private property. But it got worse. The fines, also questionable. Several homeowners discovered Vanessa had been issuing penalties without board approval, which violated HOA procedure completely. And suddenly, people started digging deeper. Neighbors uncovered emails, selective enforcement records, complaints ignored for wealthy residents. One family had reported mold for 6 months. Ignored. Another resident's dog attacked a child. No fine. But Sophia feeding hungry dogs. Thousands in penalties. The entire neighborhood became furious. And then the real bombshell dropped. Vanessa herself had been secretly leaving trash bags behind the wooded area, the exact place where the stray dogs gathered. She blamed the animals for the mess. But surveillance footage showed her dumping garbage there late at night. The dogs weren't creating the problem. She was. The next HOA meeting became absolute chaos. People packed the room, standing against walls, filling hallways, recording everything. Vanessa entered confidently, until she realized nobody supported her anymore. Mrs. Carter stood first, then Derek, then another neighbor, and another. One by one, residents exposed everything publicly. The fake policy, the illegal fines, the selective harassment, the trash dumping. Vanessa tried interrupting. Nobody let her. Then something happened no one expected. Little Sophia walked to the front holding a photo. It was Buddy, the old golden retriever. Sophia's voice shook. These dogs never hurt anyone. We just didn't want them to starve. Silence filled the room. Even board members looked uncomfortable. Then Sophia asked one question that destroyed Vanessa completely. Why are you so angry at animals that only wanted food? Vanessa had no answer. None. And for the first time since moving into Maple Grove, she looked afraid. Within 2 weeks, everything collapsed. The HOA board launched an internal investigation. Vanessa resigned before it finished. But it didn't save her reputation. The illegal fines were canceled. Families received refunds. And the community voted in a completely new board. But the neighborhood wasn't done yet. Residents organized donations. Food, Vaccines, dog shelters, a local rescue group partnered with volunteers. And slowly, the stray dogs disappeared from the streets, not because they were removed, but because they were adopted. Buddy, the old golden retriever, Miguel Ramirez, adopted him officially, and Sophia cried the day they brought him home. Months later, Vanessa tried selling her house, but almost nobody wanted it. Her reputation followed her everywhere online. People remembered, not because she enforced rules, but because she punished compassion. Meanwhile, the Ramirez family became beloved in the neighborhood. Neighbors started calling Sophia the girl who saved the dogs. And every evening, people still saw Buddy sitting peacefully beside Sophia on the front porch. Safe, fed, loved. Funny thing about power. People can fear it for a while. But kindness spreads faster. And sometimes, the smallest act of compassion can expose the ugliest people of all. If this story touched you, subscribe for more emotional revenge stories, HOA drama, and powerful community justice moments. Because karma always finds the cruel.